Hi, my name is Shelby Clark. I'm one of the ninth grade school counselors. This presentation is to give you a brief overview on Northfield and the steps to do your course selection. First thing that I want to let you know is you have two ninth grade counselors at this time. That is me, Miss Shelby, and then Miss Jessica. I am over Gold House and Jessica's over Navy House. All freshmen are put into one house or the other. One thing that you should know about Northfield is that because our counselors are focused on just ninth grade, we really hone in on support. What this can look like is helping you be caught up in your ICAP, individual career and academic plan. We also do a minute meeting where we meet with every single one of our students. We also provide brief counseling in small groups for mental health. We also work very closely with our advisory teachers, and we'll talk a little bit more about advisory in a little bit, but it's a main support for our freshmen. We will also be doing your schedules, which is a lot of what today is about as well. We also offer opportunities like Stress Lab to help students with stress. So, ninth grade counseling is a great opportunity for your freshmen to get support. Another important thing to know before you start here at Northfield is that we have graduation requirements. While in middle school, your classes don't count specifically to be able to finish middle school, in high school, the classes you pass are literally how you graduate. Here you'll see a breakdown of the different classes that you have to take. I recommend looking here where it says years needed. So for example, you need 4 years of English and 4 years of math. That means every single year you take it. And if you ever fail, you're off track to graduate. Now, another thing I want to point out here is anything in yellow is unique to Northfield. So at Northfield, we require students to have 2 years of a world language. This can be two of the same language, two different languages, doesn't matter, but you do have to do 2 full years. We do this because it's usually a common graduation requirement for college admissions, and it's a great way to build good skills. We also ask you to do 30 volunteer hours. Again, great for resume building for jobs for college. Also, a great way to be a part of your community. You can complete those 30 hours over 4 years. Then we also ask all students when they get to junior and senior year to complete IB language and literature for their English course and one additional IB class. We are an IB for all school. So freshman and sophomore year, pretty much we pick your core content classes for you. Those are set and they will all be honors. We do expect all students to do honors because we know you all can do it. And it's helping to set you up to be successful 11th and 12th grade year for our IB. What's IB, you ask? IB is International Baccalaureate. It is an opportunity for students to take classes that have a global perspective. And by doing those classes, they are very focused on college preparedness, especially for writing and research. And if students do well on the final exams for IB, they actually have the opportunity, depending on their scores, to get college credit at their chosen university. You will learn more about IB once you start here at Northfield. But the big thing to know is we are setting you up for that path, whether you do the diploma, which means all IB courses for junior and senior year, or you just do some IB classes for junior and senior year. We want to set you up for success and to be successful if you decide to go college or even for a career by, again, giving you those rigorous classes freshman and sophomore year. Another important thing to know starting high school, grades count. All of your grades matter. Again, we mentioned how your core content classes, math, English, science, and social studies, will be honors. That means they will be worth weighted credit. Basically, you get points for your grades, and you get more points if you take honors courses or courses that are deemed more challenging. That can help your GPA. A higher GPA gives you more chances for more colleges as well. So just know every grade counts. We also do grading for equity here at Northfield. So the lowest you'll ever get is a 50% F. But it also means if you're getting a 50% F, you probably have not done any work. So very important to get credit for a class, it must be a D or higher. But getting those A's and B's will help your GPA and give you a better chance of getting into college. So this is a lot. It's a big transition to go to freshman year. So who can help you? First of all, I really encourage you to check out Ninth Grade Academy. We'll go over those dates shortly, but Ninth Grade Academy is 4 days in the beginning of August before school starts that are just for freshmen to come, get to know each other's peers, get to know some of your teachers, learn about Northfield, and start making new friends in this giant community. We accept 550 freshmen, so it's very important that you get a chance to make that community before the craziness of all 2,200 students coming onto campus. The other thing is that we have house teams. As I mentioned, we have Gold House and Navy. For those houses, you have people specifically focused on you. You're going to have the same English, social studies, and science teacher as everyone else in your house, whether depending on if you're like Gold 1 or Gold 2. But basically having shared teachers and then one counselor, and then everyone has the same dean, it helps us work with your advisory teachers and your teachers in general to plan for support for you. With that, advisory is such a huge support. If you haven't heard about advisory, this isn't just a 30-minute homeroom. This is a full credit-bearing class where you basically have some of the best teachers ever who are going to help you build good relationships, work on great study and social skills, and they're going to give you lots of time to work on your assignments and get help. And again, because you and your classmates have similar teachers, you're having the same assignments. So then it's really easy for you guys to help each other out. Again, advisory really makes a huge difference for our students. And we as a counseling department work very closely with them. Also, if you're somebody who has an IEP or ELD, just know you will also have those supports, whether they're a part of your schedule for being in certain classes or you have a specific case manager. Also, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, as a counseling program, we do a lot of different things to try to help you and give you support. So know that you're getting a lot of different supports as a freshman here at Northfield. The last thing I want to mention is Final 30. If you look at our bell schedule for next year, this is when you go to what classes, what days, and you'll notice at the bottom of every day it says Final 30. Final 30, along with advisory, is one of the main things that really helps kids be successful here. When I have a student who's not doing well, if I ask them, have you gone to Final 30? Often their answer is no. My students who are doing well are going to Final 30. Final 30 is the last 30 minutes of every day. All teachers are available to support students. This does not mean wait until you're failing. This means, hey, go talk to your teachers when you're starting to struggle so you can get ahead of it, and they will be available. Another thing I want to talk about with the bell schedule, notice on Mondays, you go to all your classes for 30 minutes and you get to sleep in. You don't start till 9:30. But all the other days, you go every other day to your classes for an hour and a half. And then the next day, you go to your other classes for an hour and a half. So just be prepared for that change because it's very different from middle school. Here's some important dates. These are on the website as well. So tomorrow night, April 14th, is our Welcome to the Nest event. This is an opportunity to come, learn about Northfield, explore the campus, ask questions, and I'll be doing this presentation again for course selection along with Miss Jessica, the other 9th grade counselor. If you're watching this video after that happened, again, that's all right. We're here to support you. And there is a Google form that I will show you where you can submit questions for us as well. Course selection, the other big thing we're talking about, is choosing classes for next school year. You get to choose your world language and 2 electives. So we're going to talk about finding that information and where to find it. Just so you know, course selection is not first come, first serve. So as long as you complete the Google form in the time frame between the 15th and the 26th, your classes will be treated equally as anybody else who made a request as a freshman. Again, that 9th grade academy, here are those dates, August 10th through the 13th from 8 to 12. Definitely recommend signing up, and I'll show you where to sign up on the website. We will also have an in-person enrollment. Those dates will get updated on the website, but it's a chance to get your schedule early and to complete important paperwork for Northfield High School. A lot of people ask us about placement exams. This slideshow is linked on the website as well. I'll show you where. And right there, you'll see there are 2 links for the math and world language testing sign up. No, you cannot retest if you don't like the score you receive. And those are the dates where you can do testing for either test. And you can sign up to do both tests on the same day. Again, everything's on the website. So with that, I'm going to show you guys where everything is on the website. So when you get to the Northfield website, there's a whole section here called Future Nighthawks. There's Welcome to the Nest. So this is everything you need for our event tomorrow night. And then there's New to the Nest, Class of 2030, and then General. If you want to see general information, just click Future Nighthawks. So many great things here, videos about our different structures. Videos about our different structures, the different supports we have, like I talked about, counseling, advisory, all of that. But if you go back up to the top and you click New to the Nest, This is all the things you'll need for course selection. So a couple things here. Here's that presentation I'm giving you right now with those links. Here is the Google form where you will actually sign up for your classes. Again, it opens April 15th from 8:30 to April. Apologies, this needs to be updated. This is going to be April 28th or 26th, sorry, at 3:30. We'll get that updated. We also have this document here. This is a great overview of all of our electives. If you're doing some four-year planning, if you're like, I really want to take IB sports exercise, it shows you that you might want to take these other classes first. There's a whole nother piece that's really important to look at. Course catalog. We'll spend a lot of time here going over what classes. So when you click on this course catalog, this is an interactive slideshow. This is where you're going to see the description of all the classes you can take. So if you're like, I know I am picking an elective, and we're going to encourage you to pick a PE elective unless you're doing sports, you can click here on physical education. It's going to show you all of the PE courses. You can click on the class like fitness, condition, and weight training, and you're going to see all the information you need for the class. Some classes, most classes, have some extra information. So let's say you want to look at career and technical, and you're really interested in the medical field. We have 4 pathways here at Northfield for specific careers: medical, computer science, engineering, and business. So you can look at those, and let's say you want to look at biomedical. You'll see here they have a picture of one of their assignments, which was solving a crime, and a syllabus. So this is a great place to get lots of information on the class, teacher contacts, what their general class structure expectations look like. So I really encourage you, as you're starting to look through 4 different classes, go through here and read the description. Do not make your decisions just based on titles alone, because you might be missing something. With that, we have some rules about our class picking. Some important reminders before I walk you through how to pick your classes. Classes are a year long at Northfield High School. That means you do not get to change your elective middle of the year, because you will have missed half a year of that class and be behind. And we don't want to set you up to fail. We want you to be successful. So know what classes you get, you are staying in. Also, to go back to PE, if you want to be an athlete for a CHSAA sport at Northfield or at another Denver Public Schools high school, we want to honor the fact that that really is a lot of work. So as long as you do 2 seasons of a sport, it could be same sport, different sport, and as long as it's done before your senior year, so that means you have till the end of junior year to do your 2 seasons of a sport, you can be excused from the PE requirement. You do not get PE credit. You get excused from the requirement. You still need to take the total 24 minimum year-long courses to graduate. One just doesn't have to be PE. And if you're an athlete and you want to do a PE class anyway for conditioning, you can still do a PE class. And if you're not doing a sport, we are going to require you to do a PE this year so that you're set up for your graduation requirement. Also, we don't make changes for teacher or peer preference. Sometimes freshmen are excited, and when they get to school, they find out they don't have a shared class with a friend and they ask us to change. We will not make schedule changes for that. We also won't make changes because you didn't get a teacher you were hoping to get. We do have a lot of students, and so it's very challenging. I will tell you, we as 9th grade counselors work very hard to give you the best schedule we can based on the requests you make. So please make the best request based on the interest in the class, not your hope to be with certain people. Another thing to know, we do have some application classes. If you go back to that course catalog here, leadership and mentoring would be where most of those are. For freshmen, you're only eligible to do the peer-to-peer mentoring on the right. If you click on it, you'll see there's a link where it says application based. That actually will take you to the application. So that is an option. Another thing to note is if you are somebody who's like, man, I've been playing an instrument for 5 years, I really want to go into honors band, you can always reach out through the counselor Google form for questions and ask about being able to skip to a higher level. And we can approve that with the teacher or connect you to the teacher in charge of the class to give you approval to skip levels. Lastly, I do want to let you know, honestly, all of our rising 10th through 12th grade students got to pick classes first. So you do have fewer options, which is why we're going to ask you for multiple backups. That takes me to the next piece, which is going to be our Google form. I'm going to walk you through how you pick classes. So when it's time to pick classes, you're going to go back to that Northfield website. And when it opens up this Wednesday, the 15th at 8:30 in the morning, you're going to click on this form here, okay? Right here, Google form for course selection. When you click on it, it's going to look something like this. First thing I want to point out right here, it says, please use this Google form and a ninth grader counselor will follow with you. This Google form is our question document for all questions for counselors for the incoming freshmen. We are still supporting our current freshmen, so we're not able to do everyone's emails all in the same place. We're asking you to please use that core Google form for questions. So you're going to read through this. You'll go down. It's going to ask you for an email. I'm just making up an email. Okay. And then it's going to ask you for this important piece. We want students to fill this out. Parents, trusted adults, please sit with your students, talk to them about their options. But as coming in freshmen, we really want them to start taking ownership. We want them to fill this form out. So you're going to say, yes, I'm the student filling this out. You're going to put your last name, your first name, your DPS ID. Now, if you are coming from out of district, that is okay. You can leave this blank. Just make sure the email you give us is a good email to follow up. Then it says the grade you are right now. All of you should put 8th grade. We just have this to make sure students don't fill out the wrong form. Then you're going to click next. Then this is telling you, hey, all freshmen have to take the same 4 core content classes: English, math, biology, and U.S. history. Now, if you're doing math, you can do the placement test, but please know we will not place you in a higher level math or world language without a placement test. No exceptions. So you'll notice here it asks you right away, do you plan to sign up for the math placement test? Here's an explanation of our math placement test information. And then I've linked here the sign up. So you can go ahead and sign up for that day. If you want to do that, go ahead and press yes. Then it's going to ask you about world language. Before it asks you about world language placement, though you'll see here the sign up is also linked. It is asking if you are a Denver language school or native Spanish speaker. That's important because if you are, you have the option to take our Spanish language arts class. So you get to say, yeah, I want to take the native Spanish class, or no, I want to do a different language. That is totally up to you. Okay. For everyone else who's not Spanish speaking, it's going to also just take you here. Do you want to take that world language placement test? Again, you can put yes or no. And then do you maybe want to take more than one world language? No, this means you're going to have less electives. So if you're like, I want to take Spanish and Chinese, that's going to be your electives and whatever your gym class is. But if you're like, I want to take other electives and just one world language, then just put no. I just want to take one, which is what typically students do. Now, most students might pick like Spanish, for example. We can't put all 550 of our freshmen in Spanish 1. So very important that you pick which language. Even if you're doing the placement test, we still need to know what language you want to take. Because you might take a placement test for multiple languages, and we need to be prepared with which one is your priority. So you'll pick your first choice, let's say Spanish, second choice French, third choice Mandarin or Chinese. Next, we're going to ask you about PE. This comes back to, are you doing a sport? If you're doing a sport and you do not want to take a PE class, please click on, I plan to complete 2 seasons of a Northfield sport. If you're like, but miss, what if I don't make the team? That's okay. We're going to do your schedule with the assumption you make the team. And if you don't, you can always take PE later. Okay. On the other side, if you're like, I want to take a PE course, this is for if you are doing a sport or not doing a sport, you want a PE class. You need to click the first one that says, I plan to take a PE class. When you click on that, it's going to ask you for 3 choices. This shows you all of the PE classes you're eligible for. And you're going to pick your 3 PE classes. So let's say Team Life, ROTC, and Dance. The reason I have you pick 3 is because we're going to put you in 1, but we need some backups in case classes are full. You do have the option to say, I want to take more PE, and then we pick your classes from this list. Otherwise, if you're like, nope, I want to take a different kind of class, like a CTE or fine art, which is a graduation requirement, you would say no. And then it takes you to here where it tells you about the different kinds of courses we offer. And this is where you pick. Now, those of you who are doing sports, it'll take you right here if you say, I'm doing a sport and don't want to take PE. You're going to pick 5 electives because, again, you might only get 1 of these if you're doing a PE, 2 of these if you're not doing PE, but we want backups. So then you will go ahead and click on your top choices. Please do it in order. Okay, from your first choice to last choice. Please do not go in here and say drumline, 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 drumline for all 5. If we see that, we may be less likely to give you that class because you didn't follow directions. Again, it says select a different option for all 5. When you're done, you press next. Lastly, it says, hey, I understand the 9th grade counselors are going to work really hard to do our schedules, but I might not get what I want, and that's okay. So you're going to put your name committing to that. Once you submit, you will be able to edit this form as many times as you want. Every time you click on the link, it'll take you back to the completed page, and you can click edit my responses. So please know you can keep changing your mind. Just make sure it's submitted on time before the date. So again, just that reminder, it'll open on the 15th at 8:30 and close on the 26th at 3:30. Again, we will update the website to say that. And all of that information is right here on the Northfield website under Future Nighthawks, New to the Nest. Presentation, the Google form to submit your classes, and that really important course catalog. With that, on the middle school slide, remember we have linked the math and world language placement test for you. Last thing, again, we have all of our current students we're helping in families, so help us out. If you have a question for counselors, please use this Google form. When you click on it, you'll notice it also has some helpful information. So for those of you who maybe have questions about 504s, IEPs, or sports, we actually aren't the people with those answers, but we have put that information here on the form. We also have added that information for math placement test. We'll have world language on here as well. So if you have questions, please use this Google form, and when we are able, we will try to get back to you as soon as possible via email. But please start with this form so we can separate out which communications are future students and which communications are current students. So with that, again, here's a QR code for that question form as well, if that's easier. Those are all of the steps. So again, look at that course catalog, talk with your trusted adults and friends, make a plan for what you would like to do, and then fill out that Google form and edit it if you need to. Use the question Google form if you have questions for us, and we're happy to follow up. And again, we're so excited to have you. If you haven't yet, I do recommend signing up for 9th Grade Academy. That's also right there, right below our course selection information. So you slide down, sign up for 9th Grade Academy, right there for you, okay? Again, we are so excited to have you here at Northfield. If you have questions, do that Google form, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Hope you guys all have a great day, and as we say at Northfield, it's a great day to be a Nighthawk. Kaka.